Each year, more and more CO2 is out of the atmosphere due to the burning of fossil fuels. Now we're going to look at an energy balance on the Earth and its atmosphere to find out why it's such a big problem.
On the left side of the equation, we have the change in total energy over time. This is equal to the flows of heat, radiation, work, and mass coming in and out of Earth's atmosphere. We can assume there is a negligible change in the center of mass and heat flow, and that no work or mass flows are entering or leaving the Earth's system.
The net balance is the change in internal energy being equal to the radiation coming in from the sun minus the radiation emitted by the Earth. This buildup of energy is because the wavelength of the sun's radiation allows it to easily pass through the CO2 molecules, whereas the Earth's wavelength does not. This leads to energy being trapped within the atmosphere and a gradual rise in Earth's average temperature. This rise in the average temperature casts harmful side effects on the entire ecosystem.
Because fossil fuel burning is so prominent, one of the biggest problems we face is trying to capture and store the CO2 produced. One way to filter out CO2 is to burn fossil fuels in pure oxygen, which produce water and CO2. The water can then be condensed out of the tank and you are left with CO2 ready to be stored. However, acquiring pure oxygen might not be the most efficient use of time and energy.
A second option is to burn the coal in air, producing water and CO2, but mixing it with nitrogen. This mixture would be sent to a filter tower in which filtering chemicals would extract the CO2 from the mixture. The CO2 and filtering chemicals would then move to a second tower in which the CO2 can be fully extracted and the filtering chemicals could recycle back to the first tower. But an important question still remains. What do we do with this now isolated carbon dioxide?
One option is to store the CO2 in previously mined oil fields. A second is to bury the CO2 in sedimentary rock deep beneath the Earth. And a third option is to utilize the natural reaction of CO2 and calcium ions to produce limestone.
So here's the bottom line. If we want to continue using resources that release large amounts of carbon dioxide, we need to find ways of sequestering this carbon dioxide if we want to protect our way of life and our ecosystem. Thank you for watching.